whatever you have been practicing and then you just change.
Okay.
It's difficult to cope up.
Okay. Anyone else? Change or change management?
It's, I think, how to manage a change you are encountering.
Okay. From here?
Change can be painful, and managing it is an important part. It's like controlling an illness almost.
Okay. If I ask you, what's the first major change in our life? First major change in life.
Marriage.
Before that?
Job,
Before that?
education,
Before that?
birth and height.
Yes, right. So we are in our comfort zone and we come enter in this world. So what's the reaction of a baby? Is that baby, newborn baby laughing? Oh, sometimes I've never seen that. So it's usually crying, and what happens after a few days? Slowly the crying part reduces and the baby comes more in a comfortable zone. And after some time, what happens? So what happens after that?
Baby gets used to the surroundings.
Get used to the surrounding and becomes happy. So they follow a path. So what's the next major change in life? After the crying, adjusting and then happy. So what's after we are in a comfortable zone, then after some time, like what major change happens in our life?
We start school.
Right, that's correct. So do you remember your first day in school? Were you laughing, giggling, excited or crying? So usually kids are crying. Even I remember when I had to go to the school, my first day I was very excited before that. Very excited. But when I reached there in the school, I saw everyone crying and I also started crying. So this happens usually with most of the kids. And what happens after that?
They get used to this.
They get used to it. They make friends. That adjustment comes in. And then when we are about to leave the school phase, we are very much happy. We have made so much of friends. We are very happy. And what's the next major change that happens after that?
College,
Okay, very similar to schooling.
Marriage.
job,
Yes. So what happens? What happens when a person gets married?
You leave your entire surroundings and
Right.
you start life afresh.
You have left your comfort zone again. When you get married, you have lot of adjustment, crying sometimes or related to that. Then what happens?
Then it became comfortable.
You get adjusted to it and then you start enjoying. So what are the phases of change? What we can say that?
birth,
What are general phases of change? So what's it? Crying, then the adjustment and then the happiness part comes in. But the reason why we are covering this, because it depends on our growth. We have to deal with the change, that's for sure. That's for sure, we have to deal with change. Now if you just want to be in crying phase, want to have the maximum time in crying phase or maximum time just in adjustment, the growth or how you deal with life basically depends on your behavior, how you are treating or how you are reacting to those phases. You have to definitely go through the change, but how easily, how smoothly, how with positive attitude you want to come out of that phase, that defines you as a person. That will smoothen the process. Okay, any doubt at this time? Okay. If I ask you, okay, and also would like to add, any idea how many change plans or change management projects that actually happen? How many of them actually fail? How many actually change management plans?
Are you asking on a percentage level?
Yeah, percentage or anything that.
65 fail.
Almost 70%. 70% change management plan fails. That I'm talking about the topmost companies here.
Where did you get this data from?
McKinsey. So these are like researches given by different sources as well and this company as well. So almost 70% of the changes fail. Why? Because there are so many elements to the change management which we usually forget. And the main factor why the success ratio is very low is because basically on the behavioral side. Basically on the human factor side, how people react or what's their behavior, attitude to change, that makes major difference. Okay, And if I ask you what are the change related words that comes to your mind, any change related word like cancel, delay, postpone, or any change related word that comes up?
Transfer.
Okay, very good. What else?
Promotion.
Okay, promotion, wow.
New process.
Okay, new process. What else?
New investment in the market.
Okay, new. If I, these are few of the change related words. Now just take your time and analyze. When you hear these words, what's the first instant that comes to your mind? Is that a positive thing or is that a negative thing? When you hear the word cancel, what just comes to your mind? Is that a positive thing or is that a negative?
Depends what has been
Usually
cancelled.
the negative things, usually, not always, but usually the negative thing comes and we become resistant to change.
No, last week I got cancelled. My transfer to another city was cancelled, so I was happy.
Yeah, I'm not saying cancel always means negative. That's the thing I want to come up. Usually we have positive or negative feelings associated with these words, these change related words. And whenever we hear that, usually the strong feeling that's simply struck to our mind, and we usually ignore the other side of it. We usually ignore the other. As we rightly said, cancel when we usually hear it's usually the negative word and positive thing happened. Again, there are other words. Opportunity,
It's positive.
always positive. It might be negative as well. Okay, and postpone. Huh?
Sometimes positive.
So it depends, either positive or negative. That instant things comes up, but the thing is, that's not the only that doesn't give the complete picture. The other side as well. So when we want to work on change management, basically the behavioral side of it, we have to come out of that mindset and see the other pictures as well. Don't just simply strike out what's the first instant your mind is giving you. Is that clear? Okay, so now you want to hear a story? Okay, there was a spring in a pen, very happy in the pen. The only thing he has to do is stretching and expanding, very happy in a very comfort zone. He could hear the noises or voices coming out from outside, but didn't want to explode because very comfortable, very happy in the whole that world of pen. So one day what happened, the owner of the pen, the ink finished in that pen and the owner was trying to repair it. So when the owner was trying to repair it, by mistake the spring flew and it entered the drain. It entered the drain and the spring, that was the first time spring came out of the pen. That was the first time. And what was the usual reaction? Crying. That was the first reaction. He couldn't dare to open the eyes and just kept crying, all negative feelings coming, didn't dare to open. And then with the flow of water, it entered to a spring. It entered to a spring. The spring could hear the beautiful noises, the chirping of bird, could feel the wind, soft wind flowing, but still couldn't dare to open the eyes. Still couldn't dare to open the eyes, again crying, on days passed on, still in the same mindset. So slowly after a few days, it could just thought, okay, let me see what is outside, and then dare to open the eyes, and when it opened, it saw beautiful scene, beautiful world outside. So from a pen, it came here, and very excited to explore those things. So enjoying that phase. So after a few days, when the spring was enjoying that scenery, it saw one flower. It saw one flower. It could hear the crying from the flower and reached to the flower and asked, okay, why you are crying? The flower came up and told that one rabbit was passing by and by mistake it broke or bended my stem. By mistake it bended my stem. And the spring said, that's okay, that's fine. And it gave the balance to make that flower stand again and both lived happily. So this is also a sort of life that we come in. We are in a very comfortable zone. We don't want to change. We don't want to explore. But there are so many things that are, the world is full of experience, full of beautiful things, which we usually miss because we want to remain in comfortable zone. So if you want to explore, want to come on the change management side, you have to keep your eyes, ears open, because there's so much to explore, so much to experience if you seriously want to grow, and if you also want to grow your team, and if you want to grow your company as well. Okay, so change is the only thing that will never change, so better adapt to it, so that we know. Okay, now here's an activity, small activity. What you have to do, you have to assume yourself to be aliens. You have to assume yourself as aliens, and you have just landed on Earth. You have just landed on Earth, and you can, it's from a totally different culture, and you could see a family having dinner together, very happy having dinner. Now assume yourself to be that alien. What weird things that would be weird from your angle, but that would be normal for that family. So what weird things that you can expect, or what strange things that you can notice from a family having dinner, and just you came from some other planet and entered their house. Food, okay, food. So while they are eating food, or what is that thing, you might be having some, you might be living on here, over there, or what else?
What are the noises?
While they are laughing, it's just a food, right?
Colors, different colors.
You said something else?
I don't know, laughing, there is this noises.
Okay, noises, while they are making all those noises, you said something?
Colors.
Okay, while there are so much colors?
They will not be able to understand what exactly. They must have seen one color when they...
Right, might be more colorful, or what else from this table?
Clothes.
Sapna?
Clothes, yeah.
Okay, so clothes would be different. Okay, from there, last table?
He's got 2 eyes, I've got 3, so he also has a face, my face is completely different.
Okay, and on the dinner part, on the meal part, they would be thinking why they are using fork and knife.
They're tearing apart some other living things.
Why they are using knife for this
inside
food?
their bodies.
Or why they might be thinking why they are having so poisonous drink. It could be anything, right? So when we talk about change management, we usually think on that particular perspective, usually. We have those words, usually a positive or negative connotation. We have that mindset. So when you want to actually make your change management, a change process to be successful, you have to think from a larger angle, from a bigger picture. Don't just assume, okay, things are being done like this way, so I have to be doing the things similar way only. That will restrict your potential, your team's potentials, all the resources. So don't assume things, try to explore the world around you. Okay, so it's very important to understand, organizations don't change, people within organizations change. So it's basically the human factor. We'll cover that in detail. Okay, what model we will be covering today, that's ADKAR model, that's a very famous model. We'll cover that in detail. Okay, it's A for awareness, D for desire, K for knowledge, A for ability, and R for reinforcement. That's a very basic model. I've covered this, covering this very basic model because that's a foundation, usually the foundation of other models. If you can understand this, it would be very easier for you to understand other models. And also one thing, as I told, it's a very basic and fundamental model. This is usually applicable when we know where we want to reach. This is usually not applicable to the dynamics that we usually have, but it definitely gives a better clarity about it. Okay, now coming on the awareness. Awareness is the why we want to change, or what mainly covers what is the nature of the change, why is the change happening, or what is the risk of not changing. To give a better clarity, consider geo as an example. We know it's very much in hype these days. So what is the nature of change? It's more on the technological part. More. That doesn't mean human factor is not involved. It's mainly on the technological part. Why is the change happening? Because why is the change happening? Any idea?
New technology, 4G.
4G is coming in. So in earlier India was basically on 3G. So 4G is coming in. So there is a need to change. So that's awareness is required. And what is a lot of changing? Other competitors might work well and you might lose out, like Nokia. So it is awareness. First of all, you have to create what is the reason and you have to work on it. After this video, can you hear this?
कहते हैं सुख संपत्ति की देवी लक्ष्मी वही बसती है जहाँ स्वच्छता रहती है। आश्चर्य की बात यह है कि जहाँ एक तरफ हम लक्ष्मी की पूजा करते हैं वहीं दूसरी तरफ हम गंदगी फैलाते हैं। तो भैया अगली बार कचरा फैलाने से पहले सोच लीजिए कहीं लक्ष्मी जी आपसे रूठ कर चली नहीं जाए।
So that's just cover on the awareness part of it. So any idea what we could get with this video, what learnings we could get from this? Anyone?
Change the outfit we're drinking.
Okay, more? Anything else?
We can't keep, we shouldn't be depending on people to change. We have to change, I have to change.
Okay, so this was the awareness video that they brought up with the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So okay, they told what are the good things, why you will, if you will not change, what are the risks of not changing, which nature of the change. So they were, you need to be aware of those things. That's just an initial building block. What comes then? Okay, then what you have to do, you as being the managers, top management, what you have to do, you have to see where your team is growing. On the scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is the lowest and 5 is the maximum awareness, that's your responsibility to see, to mark your team on this level, from 1 to 5, where 1 is no, actually there is no awareness. And also one more concept that's very much interrelated, even all are interrelated, but awareness and desire very much interrelated. So when we need to create awareness, we have to understand what is in it for me, for the audience. That's very important. That's the reason they will take you more seriously. I'm from a geo company. I planned, okay, 4G is a requirement. So I created the awareness, but I have to understand what is the desire for the audience, why they will be helping me out to reach to that goal. So we have to come on the desire part very effectively. Communication plays a very important role. So everyone could be on a different level. So for this, how they created the desire, because in the previous video, they know people, almost everyone loves Goddess Lakshmi. So they created an awareness linking Goddess Lakshmi with the picture so that desire or motivation pumps in. So that motivation, desire pumps in. Again, everyone would be on a different level. They would be having different desire. So as manager, you have to cover the desire of everyone. It is a maximum of that. Then your change management will be in picture. A very simple example, if you just go home and ask someone from your family member, okay, you used to sit here, now it's better you sit there. You will face a resistance from them, even for a minute thing. And now we are talking about a big 4G plan, geo company, so you can imagine how much resistance would that management be facing from all over the audience or employees. So desire part, you have to play it very safely, and that should be your weapon. Okay, what is in it for me, for every individual, that's very important if you want your change management to be very successful. Again, I said, even if you ask your family member, don't sit here, sit there, they will be facing, they will be showing that resistance. Now you are on a very senior authority in your organization. Openly, they will not be saying no usually. Openly they might not be saying no because you are a very senior authority, but internally because of human factor, they would be resistance to change. There would be a huge resistance to change. So their communication plays a very important role. Communication, desire, so you have to handle it very beautifully. Okay.
20 minutes.
Huh?
20 minutes.
It's over. So on the desire, you have to understand where your team is going. Again, you have to do a scaling from scale of 1 to 5. Where 1 is the lowest. There is not much desire in the team, and 5 is the maximum. And then comes the knowledge part. Suppose again 4G Geo company, you know there is a need for 4G technology. So what you do, you prepare for the training, you prepare for the coaching, you need for all the facilities that are required to upgrade their knowledge. So you arrange those sources, and then again you have to see, it's your responsibility for which project you are handling to do a scaling. On scale of 1 to 5, again where 1 is the lowest and 5 is the maximum. Then what comes in, then comes the ability part. Knowledge and ability are usually confused, it's sometimes difficult to distinguish, but yes, there is a difference. What comes in ability is when you have given them the training, so 4G. Now when it becomes a practice, then they can easily apply that concept, then it becomes the ability. So just providing the training and sitting idle, okay, I'm done with it, that will not solve the purpose. You have to make sure that it's coming out to be the ability that's getting inbuilt. So again, you have to do a scaling on 1 to 5. And then comes the reinforcement. That's a very important part. You have provided the training, you have made sure it's become ability, but again, they would have the tendency to again having a reverse gear and again going back in their comfort zone. So that's again your responsibility, reinforcement. Again, you have to do it on scale of 5. The scaling, what you have done once, that will not remain static. So it's again your responsibility to do it periodically and see which all improvements you need to do and where your team is heading to. Then your whole change management model, that will make an impact. This will make an impact. Okay, so these are different stages, or if few of the elements are not missing. If everything is in place, then change will happen. Change will happen, yeah, high probability. But if awareness is not there, then people don't know where they want to achieve, why it is happening. So confusion will come in. And if desire is not there, then resistance will come in. If knowledge is not there, you haven't provided the training, coaching, they will have that fear and anxiety. And if that doesn't come out to be their ability, they will be having frustration. And if reinforcement is not there, then again they will be coming back. So it's not ADKAR is done once and you're done with your marking, it's over. That's as your manager, as responsible manager, you have to keep a track of it. Okay, now can you do me a favor, if you can just make a straight line here. Please come. And facing that side. If you can make a line here. Yeah, right, just a vertical line here. Okay, just stand here on that side. Make a straight line. Okay. I'll be giving you instructions and you have to come one step forward. A person who is wearing black jeans, please come one step forward. Only black jeans. Yes, you are wearing black jeans? No? It's anyone black jeans? Or black trousers? Okay. Anyone wearing black shoes or sandal? Footwear? Okay. Anyone wearing a wristwatch, please come one step forward. Anyone wearing jacket, please go a step back. Okay. Okay. Anyone wearing check shirt, please come one step forward. Okay. Anyone wearing specs, please go one step back. Okay. Thank you. I will tell you why this was done. Please be seated. Thank you. When you are as manager, you have to see that it's not only one or two people who are working under you. It's a whole team that is working under you. So everyone would be on a different level. Everyone would be on a different level. So when one person is there, they will be going through those phases if you have made sure. If there are 5 people, they will be on a different level. If there are more than that, maybe 20 people, they will be on a different level. If there are more than that, So again on different level. So higher you go in the hierarchy, your job becomes more complicated and more, you have to tackle it more smartly. So everyone would be on a different level, so you have to make sure everyone is going through that ADKAR process, and how you have to make sure that everyone is on the same page. I know everyone will be on different levels, so it will be difficult for you, but that's your job and you have to do it. Any doubt? Any doubt? Okay, thank you. I will